Well, the market loves the data, but it's also respecting yesterday's highs right here. Yes, doing the same thing, respecting the Globex highs of yesterday. So it pushed up. It's clearly a pivot area, clearly an area that you have to pay very close attention to. Whether it breaks out there or goes above it, I don't know. Nobody does. If it does break it, let's take a look at some areas that I like above that area for resistance. Probably right here, 6090 on ES. And I always am checking both of these charts before I enter a trade on SPX zero data expiration. And I'll tell you why. Because if you take a look back on yesterday's chart, I wanted to take a trade right here, which I did. Um, but I thought I was getting faked out because it broke 604, came down here. So I'm sitting on SPX options, and it pushed back up, took me back up to my entry price, which by that time, actually the SPX option 10 minutes later is worth about maybe $10 less, simply because it's a zero data expiration. And one of the things that kind of threw me off a little bit, didn't throw me off a little bit, because the same thing happened on SPX yesterday at that time, except to a much greater degree. This 110 to 120 p.m. Central Time area, is it did the same thing. All right, it broke the Globex low that I was looking for, but then it pushed up higher. So for some reason, futures had a little bit bigger springboard there off of that low, which caused SPY to follow suit, but respected the 604 number to a much greater degree. So anyway, as we're sitting here today, right now, we are looking at yesterday's highs being retested and rolled over. The CPI numbers came right in line. I personally, I don't think he should lower, but now there's a political factor involved here, and that political factor is Donald Trump. And he may not want to piss off Donald Trump, and no matter what Powell says, I'm trying to figure out where our area of resistance is above here. This is the 5 minute. Let's take a look at the longer. No matter what Powell says, he is a political animal. So if I'm looking at a longer term view, I'm thinking more 606. Retest, breaks through. The last retest was right here, 606.50. This could be a whole zone right through here, 606.50 to 606.80. This 30-cent range right in here. This would be the next pivot spot I would be looking at. If you're playing zero day, that's a 3-point move on SPX. So if you're playing 30s, that's $90 drawdown. If you're going to hold up to that being your stop loss, if it breaks here, I have 42. I'll give myself a little wiggle room because the 0.50 area is an algo play. Right now, though, what we're seeing is a hold at this resistance level. So this could be a put right here, almost at the open if it sits right here. 5 minutes, yeah, it's rolling over on the 5 minute. And then 606.50. If we break 606.50, 606.50 to 606.75, if we break that area, this came back down underneath here to here. Yeah, I like this number. I like this number for the next pivot spot, 606.50. Like I said, you had activity here that chopped above it, and you could see that again. But I like this particular spot right here for the next level above this. If you're going to go long on a breakout of 605.70, which is yesterday's highs, right? 605.70 right to the penny. So, what about on the downside? Now I'd be looking right where I was yesterday, 604. I'd be looking for 604, but I mean, this candle's telling me that the market is thinking really bullish about these numbers. So we may not see a pullback to this area today. which means we could end up with just being a choppy day. And one of the reasons for that is because we have PPI coming up. Is that tomorrow? Yeah, PPI is tomorrow. And that's obviously a number that is predictive in terms of what CPI ends up being for the following month or the following months. So right now, I am looking at a trade off of this high right here, pre-market highs. If it breaks there, I'm looking for a retest and then 606.50. On the downside, where would I be looking to maybe take a long? Pretty obvious it's at 604 area again. This is going to be a day that I am going to let the market unfold before I do anything. I hate taking a, because when volume comes in, anything can happen in that first 2 to 3 minutes. And you can see how much volume has come in pre-market already. Once the regular trading hours open, this thing could take off through here like a banshee, or could roll over like a banshee. So I'm going to wait and see what the first 1, 2, 3 minutes of the market look like before I even just think about taking a trade. But a breakout trade to this side, which kind of makes sense if you want to follow through on a pre-market push. Then 606.50 is the next spot that I would be looking for a pivot off of.